recycling is just one of the many ways you can help keep waste out of landfills. As we get ready to turn the calendar to the new year, more people are starting goals at least on cutting down their overall waste.
Sustainability has become a big focus for many Americans just in the last decade, and we are joined by Myren-Manbeck, who is a local sustainability expert. She's also an author, and she's here to share some of her easy ways that we can all cut back on how much we are throwing out, because we all know that we're doing too much of that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so this is your latest book, and you're focusing on 3 different ways that we can all be more sustainable: food, clothes, and lifestyle. So we're going to begin with the food, because we know we wasted a lot, sadly, over the holidays and other times of the year. How can we cut back on cooking at home and, you know, just throwing out food? We don't want to do that.
I brought some props with me because I thought that would be kind of fun to be able to show some things. So this is my food prop, and this is a reminder that when you go to the grocery, or when you go out to eat and you know you're going to have leftovers, you can bring your own containers. So if you go someplace and you know that you're going to have leftovers, you can bring your own containers. So if you're getting soup or something that would go in a jar, you can bring a jar. There are silicone containers that actually fold up and fit in your purse.
Really?
And then you can take your leftovers home that way. Another thing to do with food is composting. We throw away a lot of food scraps, and composting is a wonderful way to eliminate that. And most cities now, if you don't know, most cities have composting sites that you can actually bring your compost right there. And there are bags you can buy that you put your compost in, you take them to the site, you drop them off, you don't have to do anything.
And some of them come directly to, you can
some of them
get
pick it up.
Right, they pick it up from whatever container that
So you just need to contact your city and ask, how do we do composting here?
You mentioned you bring goods sometimes if you're going to a restaurant, but have you ever brought anything to the grocery store, like to the butcher counter, or to put your broccoli in? Do you have any ideas for that?
I haven't, but I don't know why you couldn't do the same thing.
Right, I'm just curious, like people, I mean, we have reusable bags that we use from the grocery store, but it's a great idea. Okay, so you have some other ways that you can do it at home as well, not just with food, but with laundry?
Yes, so laundry is one of my favorite ones to talk about because there's so much. So these are actually washer sheets. So you put them in your washer instead of cups of laundry detergent, and they biodegrade. And it's not necessarily this brand, there are several brands now. And what I want to say is that what's cool about this is that my sister told me that a while ago she looked for these, they were quite expensive, she couldn't afford them. She said, I kept checking, and now they're within really close to the other laundry detergent that she was buying. So now she can get those and feels good about using them, but also it's within her budget.
Right.
So washer sheets, this is a dryer ball. You can use this instead of any kind of dryer sheets, and it doesn't put chemicals into the waterways. It is softening your clothes and keeping your clothes fresh, just like the dryer sheets too. This is wonderful because you just reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. I brought this as a prop because one of the things you can do is wash your clothes less often.
Right.
People often throw their clothes in the laundry every time that they wear them, and there's no reason for that. So I brought this just to demonstrate. The smell test is actually a wonderful way to decide
I don't know that that's anything new, because I've been doing that for a long time.
Well, you are very far ahead of the trend.
Can you tell my husband that? Like, just because you wore it doesn't mean it needs to go in the laundry?
Well, and again, if it doesn't smell, check it for spots, and if it has spots, spot clean it. Just clean that one spot.
The best way is also to take whatever whatever you wore, and hang it back up if that's where it went, because then it doesn't end up in a crumpled mess.
Or even hang it outside. Like if you have a line for hanging clothing, which is also a wonderful thing, hang it outside. It'll freshen it right up, and then you can wear it again without feeling like you need to wash it. Personal care items I also brought. This is a shampoo bar and a conditioner bar. And so
do they work pretty well? I've always been curious.
I use them, and I think they do.
They suds up and everything.
They suds up. I mean, you have to work at it a little harder than you do.
It doesn't come in a plastic container.
Yes, it doesn't come in a plastic container, and it washes away just like your soap bars do. I brought this to just say, if you are getting clothing or bags or anything, hemp is a wonderful product. So look for sustainable clothing items that actually will decompose over time if you put them in a landfill rather than stick around.
Great idea. All wonderful ideas.
Thank you.
We need to cut back. We know that. And so here's some good ideas.
Well, and one of the things I just want to highlight is that for anybody, this can save you money. I wrote a book on sustainable living, and I have a Kickstarter going right now for it. But the goal of the book was to show that you can actually do a lot of this stuff free.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that you can do that actually save you money while protecting the earth. And that's
It's
what
like a 2 for
bonus.
1.
What a bonus is that?
It is a bonus.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Well, Lori, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You mentioned your book. You can find You Can Save the World. In fact, you're the only one that can. I love that title. It's out right now. She launched a Kickstarter, as she mentioned, to bring the book to print. To help fund that project, just head to Kickstarter.com and search for You Can Save the World book.